100 billion people. That's how many human beings have died before you were born. Think about it. 100 billion lives ended. 100 billion bodies gone. But where did they all go? Where are the bones, the remains, the traces of their existence? We walk on the same earth they once did. We breathe the same air, drink the same water. Yet their bodies have vanished, almost completely. In this film, we explore a mystery hidden in plain sight. The fate of the dead, how nature reclaims, how memory fades, and how every body becomes part of something larger. This is not just a story about death. It's a story about transformation, about what happens after we're gone. Long before cities, religions, or written language, humans were already dealing with death. The earliest Homo sapiens lived in small groups, moving across vast landscapes. When someone died, their body was often left behind in the open, under the sky. Sometimes there were signs of care bodies placed in shallow pits, maybe covered with stones or earth. But most of the time, nature took over. A human body, left in the wild, disappears surprisingly fast. Within days, insects, bacteria, and animals begin to break it down. Within weeks or months, soft tissues are gone. Within years, even bones can dissolve into the soil, especially in warm, wet environments. Only in rare cases, a dry cave, a frozen tundra, or a peat bog can a body survive the passage of time. That's why prehistoric remains are so rare. Out of millions of early humans, we found only fragments, a skull here, a bone there. The rest, recycled by nature, returned to the earth. Their bodies may be gone, but they were the beginning of something. The long human story of life, death, and everything that follows. As human societies grew, so did our relationship with death. We began to bury our dead with care, with meaning, sometimes with objects, food, or even flowers. Death was no longer just an end, it became a passage. The first civilizations in Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and beyond developed rituals to guide the dead into the afterlife. For some, that meant preserving the body itself. The ancient Egyptians perfected the art of mummification, believing that the soul needed a home to return to. Other cultures chose different paths. Some burned their dead, sending smoke into the sky. Others set bodies afloat on rivers or exposed them to the open air. Earth, fire, water, and wind, every element became a doorway to something beyond. These were not just practical methods. They were reflections of deeper beliefs about the soul, about memory, about what comes next. Across thousands of years, millions of bodies were laid to rest in tombs, pits, temples, and graves. Most of them are still underground, their stories silent. And yet, these ancient practices show something powerful. Even in the earliest chapters of history, we didn't want to forget our dead. We wanted them to stay somehow. Not all deaths come quietly. History is full of moments when the world seemed to break open. Wars, plagues, famines, each brought death on a scale almost beyond understanding. During the Black Death in the 14th century, over 75 million people perished in just a few years. In the trenches of World War I, death was constant, mechanical, anonymous. When people die by the thousands or by the millions, rituals fall away. There's no time for ceremony. Bodies are buried together hurriedly or left where they fall. In some places, the dead outnumbered the living. Cities became graveyards. Streets turned into corridors of silence. These events leave scars on the land and on memory. And yet, even these mass tragedies fade. Graves collapse, bones dissolve, names are forgotten. Mass death accelerates disappearance. But the Earth remembers in layers of soil, in unmarked fields, in the quiet hum of history just beneath our feet. When a body is left to nature, change begins almost immediately. Within hours, cells break down, bacteria begin to multiply. Insects arrive drawn by the scent of life, turning into something else. After 1 year, most soft tissues are gone. After 10 years, tendons and cartilage vanish. After 100 years, even bones may be reduced to powder depending on the soil, the moisture, the heat. Everything matters. Acidic soil can eat through bone. In dry deserts, bodies may mummify. In wetlands, they might dissolve almost completely. Animals help too, scavengers, worms, microbes, all part of a vast silent system. In the end, what was once a person becomes part of the earth again. The carbon goes to plants. The minerals return to the soil. The matter doesn't disappear. It transforms. Nature forgets nothing, but it never keeps things in one form for long. Imagine if every body that ever died still remained intact. There wouldn't be room to stand. The surface of the earth would be covered in bones. But nature doesn't work that way. Most bodies disappear not in some magical sense, but through slow, natural processes. Only a tiny fraction have been preserved. In graveyards, sealed tombs, catacombs, and crypts. A few mummies, a few bones locked in the cold, dry earth. These are the exceptions, not the rule. The rest? They've returned to the cycle. Traces of the dead are everywhere, not just in stone and memory, but in the soil beneath your feet, in the dust in the air, in the nutrients that feed our food, in the atoms that make up our world. In a way, we carry them with us. The planet is a graveyard, but also a cradle. Death makes room for life. That's the oldest cycle of all. Nothing truly disappears. Every atom in your body has been somewhere else before, in a tree, in the ocean, in the breath of someone long gone. The calcium in your bones may have come from an ancient creature. The carbon you exhale today might have once been part of a human who lived 1,000 years ago. We inhale particles of history. We eat the past. We are built from recycled stars and recycled lives. Death doesn't erase us. It rearranges us. The people who came before you, all 100 billion of them, are not gone. They're in the soil, the air, the rivers, and maybe, in some small way, they're in you. You are not alone. You are made of memory living on. Death is changing. Around the world, new practices are emerging rooted not in stone, but in soil. Green burials, human composting, biodegradable urns that grow into trees. The goal is not to preserve the body, but to return it quickly, gently, to the earth. In the future, our disappearance may come faster with less waste, less footprint, and more renewal. Death may become not a disruption, but a contribution. A way to feed forests, a way to give back. And yet, one question remains. As our bodies vanish more quietly, will our memories fade faster too? Will we still remember those who came before us? Or will the dead disappear not just from the earth, but from us? Bodies disappear, but ideas, actions, and traces, they remain. We are temporary, yes, but we are also part of something much older, connected to the billions who lived before us and to those who will come after. The earth doesn't keep the dead. It recycles them, and in doing so, it makes life possible. The cycle is endless, and it is this constant renewal that keeps the planet alive. We are not alone. We are part of an unbroken chain, a story that never ends. If you found this exploration into life, death, and everything in between fascinating, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And share your thoughts. What do you think happens to the dead when their bodies disappear? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. And remember, the story continues with you.